If you want to scale an info offer from your Amazon success, this video is going to break down your exact roadmap. It's the fastest path for people in the e-com space and FBA operators to smash that 50K per month mark. And it's by using a predictable, authority-driven content system. It's exactly what's worked for me in my own business, as well as multiple other clients that are in the e-com space. And this is going to work perfectly if you already have the credibility and you're just ready, waiting, and not quite sure yet how to turn it into cash flow. So without further ado, let's hop right in. This is predictable path from 0 to 50K a month. This also applies if you're running an info business right now. Your main thing is obviously the e-com business. You're stuck between maybe 5 to 20K months. You want to push through, you want to have some predictability, and you overall feel like with the knowledge and credibility, expertise you have in this space, there's a lot more people out there that could actually benefit from your help. Your message just isn't getting pushed to those audiences the right way. And the simple reason why most people in this space can't build trust in the market, can't reach people in the first place, is because they overcomplicate it. They lean too heavy into one acquisition channel or one platform specifically. They don't understand the big picture. And so the big picture is that the pathway of getting people into your ecosystem looks like a simple process like this: product, document, teach, which consists of turning real Amazon skills into frameworks, mistakes, lessons, and case studies. And this right here becomes your authority content. In other words, if we're not taking the authority and expertise that we already have now and implementing those skills into these 4 consumables right here throughout our entire content ecosystem, throughout our personal brand, it's going to hold us back because number one, we can't build authority. People aren't going to trust us. And for that reason, they're not going to build up desire to see that they could actually get results from what we offer in our coaching programs. And you also simply won't have an audience to invite into your story. And your story is going to be covered by explaining the frameworks, by sharing your mistakes, by sharing your lessons, and putting out your case studies. And so what does this really look like? This looks like building the authority stack, which consists of a few different platforms and channels. It consists of number one being X with daily opinions, daily beliefs. X is an amazing platform, especially in the e-com space. X has a sophisticated market of people already in the space going on this platform, somewhat similar for the same desire as when people go on YouTube, is to learn something. It's to be on what feels like a bit more of a sophisticated platform to hear people's news, to learn new methods. It's going to be higher quality audience and content that people are receiving than platforms like TikTok and Instagram scrolling reels with all of the brain rot that's on there. And so X is an amazing place. You share your daily opinions, share your beliefs. Story-based content does really well on X. Proof-based content with any sort of numbers and value shared does really well on X as well. The next step is going to be YouTube, which is a critical part of your funnel. This is weekly depth. This is your opportunity to spend more time with your audience, to build up real trust, to share applicable value, to share your story, to share your case studies, and to drive them to take the next steps of action, going deep into your funnel and booking that call with you or opting in to watch the free training, whatever your funnel's looking like. And then short form for visibility. This is where we build up familiarity. This is where we cast our wide net. This is where in most cases we get seen. And so X can also fall into this category of short form. Just with the different audience that we're reaching, we can still reach millions and hundreds and thousands of people in the same way we would with Instagram. We will with X as well, sending people, funneling them to the YouTube. And so what this stack is going to allow you to do is position you above beginners and fake gurus, because the fake gurus don't have much to say on platforms like X and YouTube specifically. They're mostly doubling down and focusing the most on short form content, following trends, dancing on TikTok, and that's exactly what we don't want to be doing. You're probably busy running your actual business, and you also don't want to attract the most horrendous turd quality leads into your pipeline. Whereas with most fake gurus, all they need to do is post the short form content. All they need to do is post the dancing videos, because a lot of these guys' offers work with selling those turds, with putting people on payment plans, with pushing a course to them that covers a bunch of information, maybe 1% of which is actually applicable. But if you're running an e-com business and you're in the info space, you're in the trenches with your own business, you probably have applicable advice that only works for a certain avatar of people that are really serious about it, and you're selling high ticket. And so a lot of people in that position see the other gurus with the 200,000 followers on Instagram, with all of the cars, with everything working, and they think that their info business is the one to reference, but it's simply not, because they're running a different model. They're running a volume game. They're not running one-to-one. They're running a course model. They're trying to reach as many people as possible because their total addressable market is everyone with a pulse. It's everyone that wants to make money, which is just about everyone in the world. And that's exactly why our authority stack looks a lot different. Now, the next step here is to build the conversion engine. And this consists of all of our backend processes, such as our VSL call funnel, confirmation pages, middle of funnel setting processes, nurture sequences that go out on email, and sales assist content, also known as sales assets. This is exactly how you not only turn attention into booked calls, but turn booked calls into actual leads showing up on those calls ready to buy. There's a lot to cover within this section, and I have other videos that talk a bit more about it, so I won't go into depth on every single section here, but it is a dramatically important part of your funnel, especially if you're selling high ticket to a sophisticated avatar. Now, our next layer is paid acquisition. This is very simple. Looks like running meta ads to a VSL, could be retargeting audiences from our long form, from our short form content on meta platforms. And what paid acquisition is ultimately going to do for us is bring in predictable bookings. And so on top of our organic lead flow, brand equity we've built with our personal brand, we want more predictability. We don't want to be chasing the trends, experiencing the roller coaster months that come with organic, but at the same time, we don't want to completely give up organic if we're going to be running paid acquisition, which rises in performance as you keep the same volume or post even more on the organic front too. But what it's going to do is allow you to not only be building reciprocity, brand equity, and sharing value long term, where you're not able to ask or direct people and give them CTAs very much because you don't want to kill your brand. You don't want to be the one dude that's selling a bunch, and you want the long-term asset of having a personal brand, being able to sell anything in the future on the back end of that audience. What you need is paid. You need the paid acquisition, you need the direct response. And if you have a personal brand or you plan on growing one at the same time, you're going to have a great time too, because these platforms, Meta specifically, is going to have a lot of data to work with. They're going to have warmer audiences. You're going to be able to create custom audiences, lookalike audiences. They're going to have the data from YouTube to know exactly who's watched those long form videos, who's most likely to convert, who's already seen your face. They're going to push it to those audiences, and this will be your chance to make that ask because they know that they're seeing an ad. It's direct response. It's right to the point. It's sending them down the funnel to watch the VSL, to book, to then watch the confirmation page videos, learn more and educate themselves on what they could be getting into. And it's absolutely necessary. And so of course, there's quite a few moving pieces that go into scaling a paid acquisition system. But long answer short, once we optimize this campaign, once we optimize the backend funnel, our conversion systems, all of our sales processes, we get to a point where we can focus on building our brand long term. We can build brand equity. We can still bring in cost effective, basically free leads organically, but at the same time, we can combat the inconsistency that may come from solely organic. We can throw a predictability machine into our acquisition by running paid ads and get to a point where we're handing Meta like $1 and we're getting something like a $3 return every single time, month over month, because we've optimized our campaign, because we might have warm audiences to run that content to, which is a plus. And we're pushing content backed by capital to utilize the tens and thousands of touch points of data that these platforms have on their users to push it to the audiences most likely to convert. Now, that doesn't mean that anyone under the sun is going to have a great time with paid acquisition. A lot of people lose all of their money with paid acquisition because there's a lot that goes into it. But in a nutshell, what we want to do is stack all the odds in our favor to follow all the modern best practices of how people consume content, what stage your market is at, the messaging of your offer, what makes it unique, who exactly we're selling to, their demographics, psychographics, everything about them. We want to stack all these chips, all these odds in our favor, so that when we do back our content with capital, we run paid acquisition, we have the highest chances of that bet playing through month over month. Which takes us to our last point, which is scaling with systems, which we progressively covered most of throughout this entire video. But once again, to run through it, it consists of having an optimized funnel, more long form content, high quality ads, offer refinement, the best sales processes. And this is exactly how you can scale from 30 to 50K months. It's by understanding the importance of every moving piece within your acquisition model, stacking all the odds in your favor, knowing your market, and placing yourself at the point of highest leverage. So not only can you make the best content, but you can make the most content and bring in the right audience to feed them into your pipeline every single month. And if you are running a business right now, you're in the e-com space clearing 6 figures per year in personal take-home profit, and you either want to get into the info space and turn your knowledge and expertise into another source of income, or you're already in the space doing 5 to 20K per month, you're experiencing those roller coaster months, the inconsistent revenue, and you might have hit a roadblock along the way, preventing you from scaling further. These are the exact problems we help e-com operators with to scale their programs in the info space. And I'll leave a link down below where you can learn more, book a call to speak directly with me one-on-one. We can take a look into your situation, see exactly how it could work for you specifically, and overall see if it's a good fit. Either way, hope you got value from the video. Make sure to subscribe to see more, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.